Yeah, that would
help.
Just as you can tell, I'm not a video person. I'm,
right on. So just my name.
Yeah, and what your name, what you're doing, what you do here, etc.
My name's Schrader, and I'm doing live sound here at Hogs N Kisses and everything like that. And I got hooked up through Chris Buttleman, who owns Machine Records in here in Lake Geneva. And I just set up the PA and do a little live sound and talk to the bands and kind of I'm the mediator of the whole thing. So.
What kind of monitors are you using in there? Are they yours? You bring them in?
No, Chris actually owns a PA and everything in there, and we keep it down here at the bar every Tuesday night until August 15th, 14th, something like that. We have it going on here, and it's his PA, and I just come and set it up and talk to the bands and kind of do this and that. So.
What are the monitors? What kind of monitors do you have?
There's 2 Samsung monitors, and there's a Yamaha monitor, and none of which are very, very good for. I mean, they're perfect for what we're doing here tonight. Like, you don't need much more than that, and it's just easy, plug them in and everything. But it's nothing special, nothing you want to brag about or whatever.
Well, it's a relatively small room.
It's a real small room, and that's the thing. Like we have like a little Mackie 6 tracks and everything like that, and with the room that you have, you can only do so much in this place. You can only add like a little bit of reverb, and when you only have 6 microphone inputs and everything, it makes it a little limited anyway. So. But
it also makes it limited, but it also it kind of like it makes people have to deal with what's there.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you have to deal with what's going on in there, and yeah, like I said, the whole setup that we have in the PA and everything is perfect for our little small thing. And like most of the time, like the sound's all getting soaked up by the bar. I mean, these guys are playing like straight into the bar and everything. And so I try to put up the the mains a little bit, put them up higher and kind of out of the way so people can hear them and stuff like that. But it gets tough. You have a lot of people that come that are sitting in the middle of the bar, like in the back, that are saying, no, I can't hear the vocals, this and that and everything. And it's kind of tough. Usually, and I've worked at bigger places, with like 32-track live soundboards and everything. And when you get done with the 6 and everything, usually it's like set it and you forget it. Like you set it and you back away and just wait for them to play and everything, and maybe you have to adjust thing here or there. But with this small thing, I found that I have to sit there and I have to really watch out for all the all the levels and everything, because there's no. You don't have any compressors, you don't have any EQ. I mean, and the small amount of reverb and stuff you have on there, it doesn't sound very good and everything like that. So it's it's tough. You got to work with what you have here. And after being like in a bigger atmosphere and everything, like dealing with that, it's kind of, I thought maybe it'd be less work, and it's kind of interesting that I have to do it more and turn up the input down.
That's an interesting thing for sound, talking to sound people. When you have something like, I noticed the configuration of the room, and sometimes you find this, a lot of times you have people, when you have a room that's a rectangle, you have people playing on the small end of the rectangle down to the long side of the room.
Yeah. And
I think it's probably, I mean, what is the sound challenge when you're playing literally, you've got a rectangular room and you're playing straight against the wall?
I mean, if you want to...
Well, how do you adjust for that, given the sound system you've got?
Well, when you walk in here in any room that you're doing sound in, if it's a rectangular square, it's kind of a nightmare. It's like the least ideal kind of, and the fact that the bar is sitting right in front of there. I mean, what I try to do so people can hear and everything, I walk around the room a lot and where people are standing around so I can hear what they're trying to hear and go, oh, need a little bit more vocals, maybe a little bit more kick, a little bit more of that, blah, blah, blah. And I just try to walk around as much as I can, because like a lot of you'll have a person come up that's they're like, oh, I'm like, where are you sitting? Oh, I can't hear the vocals. Or where are you sitting? I'm well in the middle of the bar. And I'm like, well, I can't really do that. So we only got these speakers, and I don't have any compressors or anything. So I try to keep up as much as I can and stuff like that. So
What tip would you have for anybody coming in, like a sound man in particular? We always ask the bands, what do the bands want to do? Blah blah. Well, a sound man that's got to walk into a small room where you're bringing the PA in. That's not necessarily set up for bands. Right. What's the first couple of things you need to think about?
You need to be really worried about, I'm always really worried about in the small room, and you got so many microphones that are like 2 or 3 feet apart, you got to make sure that you're not going to get a lot of feedback, and the monitors are so close too. I mean, like the closer and the farther they get out over the monitors, you can have feedback. That's probably the biggest problem. And like I usually have to take the graphic EQ and kind of notch down the 1K or the 2K just because. And then the SM58, it kind of spikes out at 1.6K or something like that, I think it was. And I just kind of put that down because a lot of times you have problems with like, or there's like high frequencies are kind of roll through here really, so I cut a little high or something like that. But it's tough, man. You walk in here and the first time I saw it, I was like, well, you know, I mean, I wasn't expecting too much, but the room is definitely not for concerts and stuff like that, you know. But you work with what you got, you know. So it's kind of a nightmare.
All right. Okay.
Bottom
cool.
line.